Greetings, ladies. Karibu sana. I am Kathy Washira, and I just want to take this opportunity to welcome all of you ladies to Lady in Waiting. This is a channel where we discuss everything relationship and godly relationships and relationships that work. We gain wisdom and all that. I want to take this opportunity to welcome our new subscribers and our new viewers. Karibu sana, and I pray that you'll continue with us, and I pray that some topics in this channel will be of blessing to you and of help to you. I know not everything is for everyone, but what is yours, kindly receive it, and I pray that it will help you. And what I'm going to speak about today is something that I've had questions and suggestions over and over again to speak about, and I'm going to speak about it Kathy Washira edition. And I'm going to talk about narcissistic people or narcissism. If I pronounce it wrong, just understand it is my African language fighting English. So I am trying to pronounce it as right as possible. Okay? And this is a problem that we have in society today. It is something that was not there very many years ago. And even if it was there, it was not so profound. That is narcissism. Okay, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Okay, so and the reason why it is now more profound is because of how the world has become. It become a materialistic world, a world where there's a lot of competition, money and wealth has become an issue. We are not living in the world those many years ago when people were satisfied and were humble and were okay with the little that they had. The world today is very competitive. It is materialistic. Everybody wants to become somebody. Everybody wants to become something. And for that reason, some people have been affected mentally. And that is what science says, they've been affected mentally. But the spiritual realm, we call it different. In other words, other people have opened doors to be demonically obsessed or possessed because of their desire for what they don't have. That is a door that you open for Satan to come inside you. Kindly, if you hear any noise, just understand I have where I stay, there are many children, and I have to make this video. The most important is that you can hear me more, that you can hear them. So what is narcissism according to psychology? Okay, it is a mental disorder or condition in which a person has unreasonable high sense of their own importance, self. I call it the I syndrome. I syndrome. I. It is about yourself. It's about you and nobody else. The world rotates around them, and anyone who tries to interfere with that world of theirs that rotates around them becomes a victim of their narcissistic behavior. So it is a mental disorder or condition in which a person has unreasonable high sense of their own importance. Where does this condition, where does it stem out from? According to psychology, it comes out of insecurity and poor self-esteem. Insecurity and poor self-esteem because of lack of certain things or because of wanting to become certain things. And that is why spiritually, and because I'm going to go more into the spiritual part of it, okay? This, when you become insecure, when you continue to encourage yourself in being in a state of insecurity, or you encourage yourself to have you don't see yourself as God sees you, you're going to have a very poor self-esteem of who you are, and that opens a door for demon possession. That is why a narcissistic person, he is unreasonable, because you're not dealing with a human being, you're dealing with something bigger than you. Okay. And I can tell you, I've in my journey as a pastor, in my pastoral work, I've dealt with these people, and this is the hardest group of people to deal with as a pastor. I didn't even know that because this is something that I've dealt with so many years. I didn't even know that there was a scientific name for it, narcissistic. For me, I just say this person is demon possessed, because you're trying to cancel a couple, but you are not making any progress. There is absolutely no progress. You call them, you talk, you discuss, you try, but there's always the person who will never say sorry. There's always the person who never sees the wrong they've done. They're seeing their wife crying, or it's the opposite way. They're seeing their husband crying because of what they don't have. They have no empathy whatsoever. And that is what a narcissistic person has. They have no empathy because their humanity has left them in their desire to pursue things that they're not able to reach, and which has made them insecure. They have lost their empathy. In other words, they don't have the power to feel what the other person feels, because a normal human being, for example, if something has happened in your relationship and the person you want to marry, if it's your dating, or even if it's your wife or it's your husband in marriage, and you see that you have hurt them, or you see them crying, automatically you will want to say sorry, even if you don't mean it. Why? Because you empathize. You're like, whoa, why is she crying? I don't want to. Why is he crying? You know, you want to bring back things in order because you're empathizing with their situation. This one has no empathy. In fact, the more you cry, the more nastier they get with you. It's like you have no feelings. So that is what a narcissist is. Okay, so as I told you, according that is science, but I am going to go to the spiritual part of it. This is someone who I will say has the I syndrome. I syndrome. Listen to what Isaiah 14:13, and you're going to see this in the behavior of the narcissist. Isaiah 14:13, the Bible says, that is what Satan said, because he was insecure. He wanted to become like God. He wanted to be the Most High. Okay? Isaiah 14:13, the Bible says, I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the mount of assembly, on the utmost heights of the Mount Zaphon. It is an I syndrome. That is what a narcissist is. It is always them. They're the ones who have to, even in the marriage, they have to sit in that throne. They have to be higher. They always have to be on top. And when you meet a narcissist, how can you tell when you've met one, even in a date? You go for that date, they don't listen to you. They're talking about themselves. Even when you try to say something about yourself, it's like you don't exist. Listen, many years ago, I met someone. It was not a date, but I can't remember. I think it had to do with work. It was over 20 years ago. It had to do with some work I was doing. And I met this person, and we were discussing. And we sat there for 15 minutes. I never got an opportunity to speak. Anytime I tried to say something, the person went back to I. By the time I was leaving there, I didn't even know I was dealing with that. For me, I just knew I don't want to go back there again. I don't want to meet this person again. I don't want to continue conversing with this person, because he's not giving me an opportunity to bring out what I want to say myself. It is always I, the I syndrome. This is what Satan did in Isaiah 14:13. I will ascend. I will sit enthroned. That is the spirit of a narcissist. So anyone who tries to bring down that spirit, you will regret. That's why you can't date. If you realize you're dating one, you better run away. Don't let that relationship get into marriage, because yes, you'll be married. Yes, you can even stay forever, but you'll be miserable in that marriage. So how can you tell that you're dating one? Number one, they love to be the center of attention. Remember what Satan said? I will sit enthroned in the mount of assembly. Assembly is where people gather. I am the one who will be sitting enthroned. So they are as the guy I told you I met, they are the center of attention. Very superficial. They like, even when you go out with them, they splash money. They can give everyone money. They can use their money. But it's so funny that when you're the two of you, that money is not there. So you almost want to ask him, but where is the money you're giving people where we met? Always superficial, always just giving out. Number two, they isolate you from family, friends, and even church. In other words, this person, as I told you, is an incarnate of Satan. The way Satan said, I'm going to sit enthroned in the mount of assembly. In other words, all the attention is going to be on me and nobody else. All the attention is going to be on me. So he isolates you from family, friends. And this is even way before you get married. And even church. By the way, when you start to date one, or when you get married one, they will get you away from church, my sister. or my brother, they will get you, because you can, for them, they are the God of your life. Anywhere where you are getting support, whether family, friends, in church, for them, that is something that is giving you strength. Remember, they want to oppress you. They want to be the one sitting on your head. So anyone who is giving you support is helping you. So they are going to, and that is why there are so many people, when they start to court narcissists, or when they get married to them, immediately they stop coming to church, and you wonder, why did this person stop coming to church? Because they are going to criticize. This narcissistic person is going to criticize your church, your family, everything, and you find yourself, you feel like to make him happy, you have to stay away from those people because they are played with your head, So you feel, suddenly someone who used to come home stops coming home. Suddenly someone stops going to church. Why? Because they want to please this partner. Number 3, they constantly criticize you. Remember, Satan is the accuser of brethren, constantly accusing you. You go somewhere, he accuses you of looking at someone else. You wonder, what time did I look at someone? You go, you wear something, the thing you're wearing is bad. In fact, it is the thing you're wearing that made him not get the business deal that he was supposed to get. Always accusing you, blames you for everything, and dare you try to turn it against him or to accuse him back. My God, you will live to regret. They like to twist and turn issues. Something that for you was simple, they turn and twist. That is why when you're dating one, when you're married to one, you are constantly confused. You don't even know, did I do something? No, what should I do? How do I make him happy? You're always confused, because that is the spirit. It's a twisting and turning spirit. Number 4, they never apologize when they are wrong. As I told you, they lack empathy. They never apologize when they are wrong. They will lie without blinking. A narcissistic person can tell you something, can insult you. When you confront them later, they will say they didn't do it. Who is a liar? Who is the father of all lies? Satan. Okay. Number 5. One thing about narcissists, normally when they date, they don't just date any normal person, because normal people are too normal. They normally go for established women, because I'm talking to women. They will go for established women, educated women. In other words, they go for people who make them look good. Remember, they have to stay enthroned. So if they marry a normal person like me and you make them come down. So they always go for those established, good-looking, well-dressed, established, educated women. That is why, and they know what to tell them. They know how to encourage. I don't know, someone told me it's called love bombing. You will never, you don't even know how you got yourself into it. But once you get into it, the person starts to deteriorate. That is why you see your sister or your friend who gets married to one, they were doing well, they were established, they were somebody, suddenly it's like someone has poured cold water on them. They are lost. They are no longer who they used to be. That is what it is. Okay, because remember, in that marriage, remember in that relationship, he has to stay enthroned, and somebody must be at the bottom. And guess who is going to be at the bottom? It is the person who is not a narcissist. Okay? So in other words, they oppress those people. Public image is very, very important for them. Always talking big, always showing off. I don't know. Listen, when you date a narcissist, the thing that he's going to say in front of people, you'll be like, what is this man talking about? That's a lie. That's an outright lie. He says things that are not there. So when you go back later, you ask him, why did you say that, my friend? Trouble. So what they say in public and what is in private are totally different because of image. Number 6, they will belittle and humiliate you in public when they feel that your star is shining above theirs. Anytime someone praises you, anytime you look like you're about to get somewhere, oh, trust me, they will pour cold water on you. They will pour cold water on you. They will do something that will make their attention. They can never let people praise you. They will do something that's going to bring back their attention in them. So they'll belittle you. They will humiliate you. So listen, why would you want to get into a relationship with someone like that? Why do you want to go any further? Why do you want to go with someone who, when you're with them, you're always tensed up? When you're with them, you have to be very careful what you say. When you're with them, you always feel like you don't exist. That is what, and I'm saying this African edition because sometimes when we listen to some of these things in Europe and Europeans speaking about it, and others, like, you might think it doesn't happen here, but that is what it is. So watch out. Watch out, people who love very superficial attention on themselves. They want to isolate you. Suddenly they've met you. Everyone is bad. Everyone, your church is bad. Your mother is bad. Your father is bad. Your brother is bad. Your friends. In fact, you stop talking to your friends. Why? Because they want to keep you to themselves. You know, constantly criticizing you. Constantly. They never apologize. You can cry until you fall down. This man will never apologize. Saying the word sorry. Remember, he will sit enthroned in the throne of assembly. You will see. So any apologies bring him down. He can't come down. So what is the conclusion? Number one, my sister, you cannot fix a narcissist. You can't fix him unless he himself wants to be fixed, and unless God has called you into the ministry of deliverance. In other words, you're going to take him, lock him in a room, and start casting out that demon. So if God has not called you into that ministry, I don't think you're going to do it. You can't fix him. They don't change. And you're just, even if you marry him, and I'm not saying people cannot marry them, you can marry them, but you're setting yourself up for failure and for pain. You are going to be married, yes, you say, but you live in pain constantly. Okay, so let me read for you something in Job 41, the book of Job. God is speaking to Job. God is speaking about his power, and God is showing Job how powerless he is, and he's showing him the power of a Leviathan. Leviathan is a mystical dragon that used to, in those days, the fishermen used to talk about a dragon that has attacked them in the sea that they were not able to overpower. Whether it was true or not, I don't know. But also, according to the school of theology, others believe it is a symbolic of a what is it called, of a crocodile. You know, something with a very hard back and a very soft belly, turning and twisting. You never know what you're dealing with. Sometimes it shows you the back itself. Sometimes it shows you the soft part. So you don't know what you're dealing with. Okay, and that is what I want to tell you, my sister. 41. Job chapter 40 verse 1. Will the one who contends with the Almighty correct him? Let him who accuses God answer him. Then Job, 41. Sorry, I was reading 40. My Bible is down here. Okay. Can you pull in the Leviathan with a fish hook, or tie down his tongue with a rope? Can you put a cord through his nose, or pierce his jaw with a hook? Will he keep begging you for mercy? Will he speak to you with gentle words? Will he make an agreement with you for you to take him as your slave for life? Can you make a pet of him like a bird, or put him on a leash for your girls? Will traders barter for him? Will they divide him up among the merchants? Can you fill his hide with harpoons, or his head with fishing spears? If you lay a hand on him, you will remember the struggle and never do it again. Any hope of subduing him is false, and mere sight of him is overpowering. God is speaking about Satan, saying you cannot subdue him. It is only who is able to subdue him. So you cannot enter into a relationship with someone who shows all these satanic, what is it called? Signs, and you think that you're going to change, or by becoming good they will become better. It doesn't matter how good you are to them. It doesn't matter how much submissive you are. In fact, the more submitted you are, the more they press you down. Okay, God forbid, that is not your portion. And that is why Job 41 is talking about the turning and twisting syndrome. Turn and twist. Okay, when you break up with them, and I hope that some of you have already realized, when you break up with them, please be ready for the back splash. I don't know whether you've ever seen someone trying to catch a crocodile. You can catch it, but if you're not careful, the tail, it is going to hit it, and it's the tail that is going to kill you, not even the mouth. So that is what I'm telling you, that when you break up with this person and you tell them you don't want again, you don't want this relationship again, be very ready for the backsplash, because it is coming. But whatever it is, keep running. It doesn't matter how many secrets that you've had that he has decided now he's going to pour out to the public. You keep running. It is better to break a courtship or dating than to try to break a marriage, because when you're in marriage, it becomes more complicated. If you're married to one already, understand that the word peace does not exist in this relationship. You just pray that God is going to give you the grace to be able to sustain yourself inside this relationship. Yeah, you can decide to stay, but choose your battle and stand your ground, because you have to make him know that there are some things I'm not going to entertain here. But just understand, this man will not change. So instead of waiting to enter into marriage, listen, when you see any of those signs, be watchful. Let us not be victims all the time as women. Let us watch out for some of these things. Yes, of course, there's nobody who is perfect, but there are some things that are simply unacceptable. There are things that you can say, okay, this we will deal with, but there are things that are simply unacceptable. Character issues, things that are affecting your own spirit, things that make you feel bad. Someone who has no empathy, somebody who always accuses you. You're not even married and already you've been accused of every other thing. My sister, get the courage and just walk away and run and keep running and don't stop running, regardless of how much he's shouting, whatever he's saying behind you. Keep running. Okay, but please, again, I beg you people, don't call every bad relationship narcissistic. Some relationships just broke up because they were bad. You just chose the wrong person, or it was not the person for you, or you didn't think very well. So the fact that he broke up with someone doesn't make him a narcissist. Praise God. Okay, so some relationships just break up. Maybe the person was just had anger issues. That is not a narcissist. Narcissists are just Satan's incarnate. They turn and twist. They're the ones who remain. That is I call it the I syndrome. I. So if you are with someone and they have that I syndrome, just know that is a person that you're dealing with. It doesn't matter how much they bomb you with love. They praise you in front of people, and then inside they are pinching you. I don't know how many of us used to be in schools where the teacher, you could be standing, but the teacher is pinching you on your behind your legs, and nobody is seeing. You're the only one who knows that you're being pinched. That is how a narcissist behaves. You are the only one who knows you're being pinched. So people are wondering, why are you turning and twisting? It's because the teacher is pinching you behind the leg. So if you have someone who is like that, everybody thinks they are good. Everybody, but it is only you who is turning and twisting because he's pinching you and nobody is seeing. His hand is... Run. I pray that you get the courage, because it's not easy. I pray that you get the courage to walk out of those kind of relationships, unless you want to enter the ministry of deliverance. That is the only way. May the Lord help you, and may the Lord give you strength in Jesus' mighty name. In case of anything, kindly contact me. We talk even more in Jesus' name.